Welcome to the American Baptist International Ministries On Location podcast series. We bring you the stories of IM missionaries, volunteers, and global partners as they carry the message of God's love and hope to people all around the world. Meet Malkas Songulashvili, Archbishop of the Evangelical Baptist Church of Georgia, located south of Russia and north of Turkey. Georgia has been a historic center of evangelical Baptist witness for almost 2 centuries. We recently sat down with the Archbishop and asked him to tell us how he received his call to pastoral ministry.
I was called to ministry when I was created. It was something deep in my heart that I was to serve the Lord, but I didn't think it had to happen very soon. It should happen later than earlier. I was a professor at the State University, teaching history and Hebrew, and also the part of the Bible translating team translating the Bible into modern Georgian language. And when in 1990s, early 90s, Soviet Union collapsed, the church felt that they wanted to have new blood into the leadership. They wanted to have new people that would lead the congregations and the church in new setting. I was approached to take leadership, which was quite unexpected, and I immediately declined. In fact, I left the country and went away so that I would not be elected. Next time when another term approached for election of leaders, I was praying in the church. There was nobody in the church. And in silence, I felt very strong, you might call it calling, you might call it, I don't know, urge. Something that forced me to go forward and say, yes, I'm ready now. Still believing that I would not be called. Still believing that other leaders would take leadership. But I felt I should offer my name for election in order to express my allegiance to the Christian call or Christian cause. I was very young, too young to be elected leader of the church. It was a very daring step for a church to call for ministry, for national ministry, somebody who is not ordained, who is not a preacher, who never wanted to be a minister, and who is brutally young. You don't elect somebody who is 29 years old for national ministry. So they called me for ministry. I accepted it. I was ordained, consecrated. But I offered my conditions. I said, you called me because you want to have change in the life of the church. But are you ready to follow? And I'm rather proud of all the generation who said, yes, we are ready. We trust you. You are young, inexperienced, but we trust that the Spirit of God will be leading you. This is how I found myself and the entire congregation involved in dramatic reforms of the church. Perhaps those people who agreed and gave their consent for the change didn't realize what sort of change I was talking about. Even my own father, who was a bishop of Tbilisi, would tell me that I didn't understand what you are doing, but I believe you are guided by the Spirit, and therefore I'm happy to work with you under your leadership. So that was huge encouragement, I must say. It was very encouraging to get such an affirmation from your father, and also ministers of my father's generation. These were people who experienced a lot of suffering for being Christian. persecution, imprisonment. And this is the foundation I'm standing on. Support, moral support that I've been granted has been a source of my energy and inspiration, I suppose.
We also asked the Archbishop how he would counsel a person who asks, how can they discern Christ's call in their lives?
I think I've got an answer for that. I do not have answer for many things, but I think I've got good answer. I believe a good answer for this. Listening. Careful listening. Diligent listening is an answer, is the answer. We need to listen to God. We need to listen what is He telling us. And when we hear His voice, you can't be mistaken when you hear the voice. That was my experience. Obviously, everybody's speaking for his or her experience. I'm speaking for my experience. When I heard this voice, I knew that was Him. And I knew that there was no way I could say no. I could say no to ministry, for ordained ministry, to my father, to my minister, to the bishops, clergy, but I could not say no to this call. And I think it comes from listening, and something we badly need in our time. Especially in our tradition, we are very keen on speaking. We might miss something which is very important. We need to listen. It is in listening and silence we can hear His voice and also gain energy to live and serve and love.
The Evangelical Baptist Church of Georgia and International Ministries have been in partnership since the Republic of Georgia gained its independence from the former Soviet Union in 1991. Thank you for your participation in this and other vital ministries through your gifts to the World Mission Offering. International Ministries is a global Christian mission organization that helps people come to Christ, grow in Christ, and change their worlds with Christ. To learn more about American Baptist International Ministries or to provide financial support, visit our website at internationalministries.org.